back to another episode of Fan Mail.
Oh, damn! I lost track of the time. I need to get ready for that. I'll see you at the greenhouse.
I can't believe it's finally happening, Lily. But you're here, and you did it. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, Rizzo was a tough one to pin down, wasn't he? I'm about to close the trap on him now. Shelly really came through with this dress, didn't she? It's amazing.
Hold still just a second. I'm trying to fix your shoulder strap. I don't...
You about ready over there, Lily?
Yep. I think we got all the bits where they're supposed to be. Ready when you are, DP. No escape now, Rizzo.
I ain't going nowhere, don't worry about that.
Time to shine, Lily.
I don't know how to thank you for all this, Babs. The greenhouse, being my best maid, and everything else.
It's made of honor, Lily.
Whatever. You gonna walk me up there? Or am I gonna be too old to have kids by the time I take my vows?
That's my Lily. We're on our way. Mendel, play the bridal march.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to witness the matrimony.
Boring.
Holy shit! Give me a chance at least, Lil.
That right there is why I love you, girl.
Love you too, sugar buns.
And so it begins.
Every damn time.
Quiet, both of you.
Will you two shut up and let me do my job?
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, of course. Sorry. Go right ahead, my man.
Right, I'll skip the boring shit then. Lily. I'm sure I speak for everyone here, Lily, when I say we're truly happy for you and Rizzo today. But today almost wasn't, because not that long ago, we thought we had lost Lily. I remember where I was when Bob told me what I was doing, and I bet the rest of us here do as well. That's how hard the news hit. It was like the brightest light in the Commonwealth was extinguished. I've known Lily pretty much her whole life. She's the closest thing I got to a younger sister. I also see a lot of people come and go from the diner. They all blur one into the other. Just more wastelanders like me and the rest of them. But not Lily. You always remember Lily. You remember her fire. And our world was a lot darker when we thought we'd never get to see that fire again. Her bright light that makes each day memorable.
Oh, DP, you're gonna make me cry.
I mean it though. When Bob discovered it was just a synth duplicate that they... Well, that's not why we're here anyway. I just want to say this. Not long ago, I was speaking at your funeral, Lily, and we had no idea how we'd go on. Today, I'm speaking at your wedding, and that really makes today something extra special, and it makes today a happy day. You guys ready?
Let me at him.
Ready as ready gets.
Before I begin, I want to stress to those here that they wrote their own vows. So let's get on with it. I, Richard Zohar, do take you, Lily Adamcat, as my lawfully wedded wife, to honor and to hold, to love you and only you, to listen to you cry when your T60 breaks, to not switch your coffee to decaf, to whoop the ass out of anyone who messes with you, to raise a herd of kids to torture Uncle DP, Aunt Sheriff, and Aunt Babs, and to do everything you tell me if I know what's good for me, until death do us part.
I, Richard Zoa, to take you, Lily Adamcat, as my lawfully wedded wife, to honor and to hold, to love you and only you, to listen to you cry when your T60 breaks, to not switch your coffee to decaf, to whoop the ass of anyone who messes with you, to raise a herd of kids to torture Uncle DP, Aunt Sheriff, and Aunt Babs, and to do everything you tell me if I know what's good for me, until death do us part.
And Lily, repeat after me. I, Lily Adamcat, do take you, Richard Zohar, to be my lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold, to love like crazy, to put our kids into T60s the moment they can open one on their own, to break the legs of anyone who messes with you or our kids, or our T60s. To cry to you when my T60 breaks, to love you and only you, to share my life with you and be by your side for the rest of my days, until death do us part.
I, Lily Adamcat, do take you, Richard Zoher, to be my lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold, to love like crazy, to put our kids into T60s the moment they can open one on their own, to break the legs of anyone who messes with you or our kids, or our T60s, to cry to you when my T60 breaks, to share my life with you and be by your side for the rest of my days, until death do us part.
If anyone can think of any reason why these two should not be married, speak now so Lily can break your kneecaps after the ceremony.
I don't think anyone feels like dying today, DP.
Nobody objects? Thank God for small miracles. That could have gotten ugly. Then, by the power vested in me when you asked me to do this, and 3 new Coca-Cola Darks, I now pronounce you husband and wife.
Congratulations, you two. I'm so happy for you.
I ain't gonna protect you if you piss her off.
Welcome to married life, you guys.
Quit standing around. Abby needs a playmate.
Thanks for coming, you guys. Sorry you gotta get back to work right away.
Welcome to the family, Rizzo.
Let's go eat, guys. Twisted Mist has probably got everything set up by now.
Give me a minute, guys. I've got to clean this stuff up first.
I will assist you.
Sir, we need to get back on duty. We have everything under control. Enjoy the food.
Of course, Lieutenant. You know where I'll be.
How's it hanging, Bleacher creature? Hey, there you are. Grab a seat. I was just telling DP and Rizzo about some of the insane shit we did.
I've been trying to get her to wait until everyone gets here. I got a feeling there's gonna be a lot to tell.
I was telling him about Cooter's place, that the Gunners made him live in his tool shed.
That's really f***ed up. I'm glad you showed up when you did, because knowing the Gunners, he was either gonna be sold or killed when they were done.
Oh, the f***ed up part is they drank all his beer that he brews for himself. His place was littered with empty bottles.
Of all the low-down dirty shit to pull, to drink a man out of all of his beer?
And man, oh man, was he ever pissed the f off at the sheriff.
Wait, what? Why? What did she ever do to him? I doubt they'd even ever met.
Hangman's Alley. He blames her for poking a stingwing's nest. You know, getting him all riled up, paranoid, and taking turf back from him.
I guess I could see his point of view.
Yeah? How so? Aren't the Gunners responsible for what the Gunners do?
Oh, for sure. I didn't say it was her fault. I just said I could see his point of view. I mean, think about it. He's out there, minding his own shit. One day, some Gunners with a bone to pick with the sheriff show up and turn him into a slave as part of a plan to get back at her. A little nobody like him out on the edge of nowhere? He was enjoying the status quo. Not being noticed is a big advantage in this world. Someone that unimportant, his only real danger was being replaced by a synth because the Institute makes no sense. Nobody else would bother with him. None of that would have happened if the sheriff stopped with beating the Gunners. But she... well, we were both there and we both helped.
What was she supposed to do? Feed him? Let us tear him apart with our pitchforks and bare hands? Let him go? And Hangman's Alley would have never happened if the Gunners hadn't attacked in the first place. Where do we stop tracing back blame?
One thing I've learned is people keep tracing back blame and stop whenever it's most convenient to fit the story they want to be true. Another thing I learned is that the tougher the problem, the more complicated it is to fix. There's no such thing as an easy fix for a tough problem. What I'm saying is there's no easy answer here. You and Kuda both make good points, and that just might be as good as it gets. The sheriff acted the way she thought was right and most effective. And it was. But nobody could have known Kuda would suffer for it years later.
You know, you're a lot smarter than you look, DP.
Been hearing that my whole life. I must look really stupid because I've never felt smart a day in my life.
I don't know, those glasses make you look pretty smart. A lot like Babs.
Really?
No.
Oh.
Don't worry about that, DP. You're a good man. Barb sees it, or she wouldn't keep coming by for her meals or sitting with you in the greenhouse.
You really think so?
Yeah, helping me get ready for the wedding got her talking a little. Just keep doing what you're doing. Be yourself, and it'll happen. Hey, guys.
That is a very large water tank you're talking about, Doctor. Do we have the resources?
We don't have to fabricate a new tank. There's one at the old Show propane branch about a half day east of here that would do the job. There's probably leaks at the weld points after this long, but we can patch those from the inside and it will pressurize just fine.
Very well. It is important we have as much clean water on hand as possible. I'll send Crenshaw to inspect it and write up another salvage report.
Hey, no talking work, you two. It's my wedding day.
Sorry, Lily. We're here now. You're right. No more work talk. Rizzo, welcome to the diner. We usually do this for dinner night, but we moved it up for the wedding. I hope you like it.
Mind blown, Doc. I grew up in Quincy. Spent the last 7 years living in a Red Rocket service station. I didn't know places like this existed anymore. If I knew this is how you were living, I'd have asked you to marry me years ago, babe.
Thanks. I think. I love you too.
You make anything special for the menu today, DP?
I did, but it's spaghetti again. Twisted Mister had to finalize the meal by himself, so I had to make it something he couldn't. But the bread is piping hot. I took it out of the oven myself when I got back from the greenhouse.
Serious? We only get this once a week, at most, and it's my favorite food. I wouldn't have let you serve anything but spaghetti today.
That makes me feel better, Lil. I was worried it'd be too regular for your wedding day. You guys are gonna like what I did with it, though. You won't believe what I was able to pull off with this one. You know those chili pepper things you dropped off the other day, Bob?
Yeah, those were beautiful, weren't they? No more rewiring Wellingham to steal his pepper.
Well, I diced them up, dried that, and ran it through the coffee grinder.
Wait, you put pepper in the coffee?
No, I'm not an idiot. Well, I'm an idiot. I'm just not that severe an idiot. I just use it to grind up the Would you just listen for a second?
Sorry.
As I was saying, ground it up pretty fine, a lot finer than Wellingham's canned shit. And I mix it with the flour and press that into the spaghetti. Not too much, though. I just wanted to bring out the flavor, not make you guys hate it. So the spaghetti's gonna have just a small bite to it today.
You're a goddamn genius, DP. I can't wait.
Where you been my whole life?
What a pleasant surprise. You're so creative, DP.
Very thoughtful of you. I'm sure it will be excellent.
So, we're all here, we're all hungry, the food's hot. I want to say congratulations to Lily and Rizzo. And I want to say welcome, Rizzo, to the Bleachers and the family. This is your first dinner night of many, my friend. Finally, I want to say we should eat before shit gets cold.
Listen to the man, people. He knows what's important.
So, Rizzo, Lieutenant Dan has informed me you inquired about submitting an application to be a deputy. Is this true?
Oh, yeah, I did. I was with Quincy Security before the Minutemen took it over. I was really young, but they still put me on patrol. And then with the Atom Cats, I've been on patrol in my T-60 for years now. Gunners, ghouls, raiders, you name it, I fought them, they died.
I'm sure you move very well in a T-60, but relax. This isn't an interview. We will discuss this another time. Enjoy your wedding day.
Oh, sorry, I just,
The sheriff makes everybody nervous at first, Rizzo. It's part of a charm. Quit intimidating my husband, Sheriff. He gets enough of that from me.
Okay, so what did you want to talk about, Lily? It's your day.
Oh no.
Glad you asked, Babs. Good point about it being my date, too. Let me tell you.
Here it comes.
Ooh, I gotta hear this.
Yeah, you heard of the raided gang up in Salem? Well, the merchants ain't lying. These guys really ran with the whole Salem and Halloween thing.
You mean those jackasses really do run around in Halloween costumes and shit?
Sorta, yeah. They all wear those ridiculous plastic pumpkins on their heads, dye their clothes orange, and put up lots of Halloween decorations.
Crenshaw reported something similar. Apparently, they're supposed to call their leaders the Pumpkin King and Queen. They tried to spread rumors the Queen is a witch. I don't think it really took.
Yeah, you should also know they peppered scarecrow booby traps through Salem. Proximity charges. Tell you guys to stay away from them.
Good advice. I will pass it on.
How odd.
You're telling me. You should see their, I guess you'd call it a lair? It's a cave under Salem that connects with the ocean under the surface. They had it set up pretty good in there, for raiders. I bet a fishing settlement could do really well in there, but raiders are dicks like that.
Raiders are a constant plague on efforts to reestablish some sort of representative order in civilization. I wouldn't be surprised if they had killed legitimate settlement claim holders already in that cave to take control of it.
Given your feelings towards raiders, I can assume there's no Pumpkin King or Queen no more.
There ain't many people up in Salem, but a lot of caravans come down that road to the west of it as they work their way along the coast. So yeah, they had to go. Only a matter of time until they come back, though. Raiders are like cockroaches.
You got that right. There's always another shit who's not above making a few fresh dead bodies to pick clean if they run out of old ones.
When you stop to think these people were everyday citizens of the planet before the war, you can almost sympathize with the bombs.
All right. Speaking of raiders, it's time to fess up. I've heard a lot of merchant chatter about a giant upset in the Nuka World raiders. They say someone killed 3 Diamond City expatriates who headed up a gang over there not long ago. It shook up the trade over there some. The same 3 Diamond City expatriates you had justifiably swore to kill if it was the last thing you did. Correct me if I'm wrong, but last dinner night, I told you about them and where they were. I got a feeling this ain't a coincidence.
Hey, before you start lecturing me on putting myself in danger, just want you to know those 3 assholes had it coming. For years. William killed April and made it look like an accident. We both know it. And Mags. That fuck...
Whoa, sorry, Lily. I didn't mean it like that. Just wasn't going all the way out to Nuka World a little drastic? I didn't mean for you to do that.
Damn it, DP. April was your friend, too. You know what Mags did to me for years when I still wasn't old enough to know better. You know damn well. Look at me. I mean, look at me. You think I don't know how small I am? For fuck's sake, DP. I weigh less than most kids. And Mags is responsible for that. You know it better than anyone else here. I'm tired of raiders taking shit from me my whole life. They took my parents, my body, my friend, my childhood. They're not getting away with it.
You're right. I'm sorry, Lily. Mags deserve it. I just worry about you since the kidnapping. We all do. I'm glad you got her, though. Real glad.
Babe, it's a happy day. Good food, good people. Let's do this right. Remember, I love you. We all do.
I'm sorry, DP. It's not your fault. You've been a good friend and the closest thing I got to an older brother. Just raiders and me, you know?
It's okay, Lil. You're my little sister. Always have been. I'm not judging you. Why don't you tell us what you did to Max so I can smile about it?
Oh, I used my power armor to shove William's head up his own ass and stake Mags and Lizzie out in the middle of the desert to die of exposure. Caravans say that usually takes 5 days or so to die. Slightly quicker, but more painful if the giant ants find you. Not bad, huh?
You what?
How is that even possible?
It's no biggie. You just have to be real serious about how you stake them to the ground. Just make sure they're not going anywhere.
No, I mean the... You know what? Never mind. I don't want to know.
Yeah, me either. I think I'm good on the details.
Efficient, effective, creative. Sends a clear message.
So proud of her.
Someone who causes so much pain to others, particularly to you, Lily. Meeting the justice they had coming is rare in this world. Am I happy you found your peace? Yes, very much so. Am I happy you talked about that over food? Not so much. But I'm still happy you found peace.
Aw, thanks, Babs. Means a lot to know there's something I can gross you out with over food. Finally, after you've been doing it to me for so long.
Lily recently came across a railroad safe house. By pure serendipity, she recovered a very, very large cache of intel on their operations.
I take it they didn't just hand it over willingly.
Serendipity. Yeah. Me and my sidekick here, we stumble on this railroad safe house. Only we didn't know it was a railroad safe house.
How the hell did they get the jump on you? Better yet, how the hell you know they were railroad?
The first guy that greeted us was wearing a Corsa uniform. Same haircut, same flat, monotone voice, but it was just as surprised as we were. And you know what any smart person does when they see a Corsa outfit?
Empty the clip at it.
Empty the clip at it. So that's what we did. The rest of them didn't like that much, so we had to drop them too. At first I thought we stumbled on some sort of Institute remote location, but something wasn't adding up. Shit didn't look right.
What made you think it was railroad?
The tech didn't match. You know what I mean? I know what Institute tech looks like. Now, this place was stocked with pre-war computers. And we had a Corsa meet us at the door, and one of the others we dropped turned out to be a synth too. Doesn't leave many options as to what it could be, so I went with the simplest one.
And they just left the intel lying around?
You think so until you remember we had to blast through a Corsa, a couple of synths, and some others to get to it. So no, not really.
Huh, good point.
But we cleaned the place out of all the holotapes, and believe me, there were a lot of them. That's the intel Sheriff was talking about.
It was the largest intel haul we've ever gotten on the railroad, and one of the largest I've ever seen. Finding the railroad HQ was child's play. Literally. But we would never have found Ticonderoga without that intel. It was impressive work, and the value placed on recovering intel shows a good instinct, Lily.
You keep giving out compliments, folks are gonna start wondering if you got replaced by a synth.
Haha!
Whoa, bad joke. Bad joke.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I want to hear about the Atom Cat's garage and you crossing the harbor floor to sneak up on the gunners.
Sneak up on them like totally badass amphibious power armor super ninjas! Woohoo! Hell yeah!
Are you going to tell us, or are you going to just sit there wet at the mouth while you think about it?
I'm getting there. Just give me a second to think about being a power armor ninja! Woo! Okay, so it was a dark and stormy night.
Don't make me regret asking, Lily.
Sorry, just trying to add some color to the story. We followed your plan to the letter Babs, and it worked like a charm. The crossing itself was kind of boring, except that we heard Sigmund grumble once. A real good one, too.
Oh, you gotta hear about this one, Bob. The Atom Cat's got their own damn sea monster out there off the peninsula.
Really? Do tell, Lily.
Well, I ain't sure what it is. Just we've caught glimpses of it.
Glimpses? What is it, a chameleon or something?
No, it's just that it's at least a click long and the water's pretty murky. Never even seen its head, or even the whole body at once. It's got reptile scales like a death claw does, and when it decides it's gonna grumble a bit and make noise, you hear it for miles and miles. We see it sometimes when we're diving to recover power armor. I don't know what it eats, but it could probably eat our salvage barge whole if it wanted.
Over a kilometer long? Fascinating. Could you get a blood sample for me?
Fascinating is not the word I use when I'm 50 feet below the water, look to the right and see a giant wall of scales moving past me. And a blood sample from Sigmund is one crazy thing you ain't gonna get me to do. Probably need a discard and Sabo syringe to penetrate those scales.
That's okay, Lily. I was just curious more than anything. Let's hope it keeps leaving you guys alone out there.
I bet the gunners were surprised to see you when you got to the other side.
Don't know the half of it. They left one guy watching us. Everybody else was up front guarding the road like a bunch of idiots. I'll admit, it didn't occur to me that you guys would come out with the water either, but those jokers were completely unprepared.
The only person it occurred to was the doctor, who shared it with us, and it formed the backbone of our strategy for taking the garage.
It was absolute genius, Doc. These guys secured us and took out half the gunners before they even knew the shots were coming from.
Thank you, Rizzo. I'm just glad everyone is okay. Other than the gunners, I mean.
Yeah, well, on behalf of all the Atom Cats your plan saved, thank you anyway. Then Crenshaw stuck around and did that thing you guys do to warn the gunners to stay away.
That was on my order if you've got any issues with it. Gunners only understand two currencies, caps and violence. We aren't about to pay in caps.
No, it works. We haven't even heard the word gunner at the garage since, much less seen one. It's just, well, Lily warned me.
It's one thing to hear about us hanging gunners. It's another to see us hanging them in your front yard for your own protection.
Yeah, that. It's not usually something you see settlements and good guys do, you know what I mean?
No, you don't see them do things like that. And that's what gunners and raiders rely on. Your civility, which they see as a weakness. Instead of speaking the gunners' language, you see them repel attack after attack, until, one day, the settlement falls and everyone is slaughtered. Civility is reserved for those who would pose us no harm. It is an arbitrary line you limit yourself to, and it puts you at a disadvantage in war. The gunners heard what we did at the Atom Cat's garage because we spoke their language. Understand?
I do. We're grateful for it. We already decided to leave the bodies up there. We're gonna try it your way this time, Sheriff.
The Atom Cats are our friends and allies in addition to being our trading partners. We will always answer their call for help.
Told you, babe. She ain't gonna leave our friend hanging out there. She proved it once already. The gunners and raiders know to stay away now.
I know. It's gonna be an adjustment moving here. I gotta get used to the crew being on the other side of the city.
We talked about this. We'll see him every week or two. Think about the warm bed and what's best for our kids. Hey, let me tell you what we did at Quincy to Mob. That'll make you feel better.
You ain't wrong about that. You ain't had the time to tell me what happened over there. What the hell were those giant explosions?
Oh my god, those were cool, weren't they? I thought Harkins was gonna drop the whole causeway down on Quincy.
Those must have been some pretty impressive fireworks.
You don't know the half of it, Babs. Just kaboom, boom, woo, boom, boom, boom.
Hell yeah!
She grabs a couple of spotters and they drag some quad-barrel rocket launchers to a perch. Linda just lets loose from there. She empties one launcher, her spotters drop the next on her shoulder, and she keeps going until they gotta reload. She shoots those rockets just as well as she shoots any rifle. She shoved them right up the gunner's asses before they knew we were there.
It's heavy, but effective. We don't do it very often, or anywhere near as much as Lieutenant Harkins would like to.
Those bastards have been harassing us for months. It's about time they get exactly what they had coming to.
Oh, they got it all right. We were still trying to get rid of the ringing in their ears and put their pants on when we rolled in. That place was a ghost town when we were done. Nothing but the breeze.
Without settlers to repopulate the town, I fear it's only a matter of time until gunners, raiders, or mutants move back into the area.
You really think so? It was a pretty decent-sized town before the gunners moved in.
A settlement needs a measure of security and stability to be able to grow. Quincy has none of that. It will be a long, slow process to repopulate. Gunners and raiders are unconcerned with supply lines, and they provide their own security, such as it is. They will always resettle more quickly. We can't provide such security all the way out in Quincy. And the Minutemen? Well, we've seen what they can provide to Quincy.
Yeah, betrayal followed by tuck and tail and running. Glad we got you guys watching our backs. 'Cause I grew up there. It's tough knowing it's sitting there, empty. And only 'cause there ain't enough people with the will to move in.
It may yet recover someday, but if it does, it will be because settlers were ready to move back in, not just because it was empty space.
I bet Rizzo would like to hear what you guys got up to in the Mass Pike Tunnel when you got back from the Atom Cat's garage.
I will, but first, I gotta ask you. Is that your plan, to trap him down there like that?
Actually, the sheriff had that idea.
The capital region's subway system was a sprawling labyrinth. We learned many ways to use those tunnels to our advantage.
Alright, you gotta let Lily tell a story before you go giving it all away.
Oh, Rizzo, it was so cool. Those gunners didn't know what hit them there either. I just wish you could have been there.
Okay, I believe you. We established that. Now tell me what happened. What's this idea the sheriff had?
Oh, yeah, I forgot that part. So the gunners had the bright idea to attack the department while they were out helping you guys. And the sheriff was able to fend them off, but... well, the gunners got away alive because a good chunk of her guys were out helping us Atom Cats. We can't have gunners attacking the department and live in because, well...
I can't abide a gunner that breathes. It sends the wrong message.
Well, they ain't breathing no more. The snipers pushed him into the Mass Pike Tunnel and Lieutenant Dan took a mechanized squad in from the other end. That leaves only one way out. A heavy metal door under the old police depot at the end of a long tunnel, which the sheriff welded shut. That tunnel lined them up all nice and neat. They had no way out, no cover, and no chance.
A standard maneuver in the capital. More often than not, when we could drive an enemy force into the subway tunnels, they were falling into a trap.
I think I'd rather have you dodging baby vomit than bullets from now on. Sound good?
You see, Rizzo? This is why the smart people like me and Bab stay behind that wall.
I have a hard enough time fighting off weeds.
I won't argue, that's the smartest thing I've heard all night. So, Lily says all these gunners that have been moving against you are doing it because they can't get over how you spanked them years ago.
Diamond City's guard spanked them, as you put it. Most people in the Commonwealth are aware of what happened next.
Yeah, Hangman's Alley. News of that reached us out in Quincy. We felt like you kicked the shit out of them for all of us that day.
There were a lot of feelings that day. Among them was the commanding officer's feelings. He got away. Neither of his sons nor his brother did.
Alright. I see where this is going.
Get this. So after he does such a shitty job trying to take Diamond City, Gunner Command busts him down in rank, and he blames the sheriff.
So he doesn't blame the ones who started the fight for the results of the fight, but the people he attacked. Did he expect them to just lay down?
Yeah, I didn't say it made sense. That's just what he did. So he takes his few loyalists and decides to shelter up north in that vault you mentioned. Only it wasn't empty. They slaughtered an entire vault full of children of Adam. Not the kind, but the cool kind of Adamites.
That son of a... You know how hard it is to find good people who don't shoot you on sight out here? I don't care if they're in a cult or not.
I hear you. I got no problems with the ones who are friendly. The gunners set up a fake front and everything to make it look like nothing happened.
How'd you guys end up getting in? I mean, those things are designed to keep Armageddon out. And while you're a handful, Lil, you ain't Armageddon. At least not once you've had your morning coffee.
We had a plan. One that was so poor it deserved to fail. Yet somehow it still worked.
It turns out those gunners there work with the Bunker Hill Raiders. Those raiders kidnap and ransom folks in debt to Bunker Hill to Kessler. Now these ain't loan shark muscle raiders. Kessler doesn't send them to do the kidnapping. Kessler pays to get them so they can pay their own bill. But sometimes, pretty often actually, she doesn't pay. And the raiders sell the poor schlubs to these gunners for like 100 caps a pop. The gunners either pass them on to the slavers or sell them to the Institute for experiments. Either way, they open that vault sometimes. Am I getting this right?
So far, yes. I'm surprised at the lack of embellishment. Somewhat disappointed, if I'm being honest.
So we decided we were gonna pose as raiders, and I tried to sell my sidekick here to the gunners to get them to open up.
As I said, an awful plan.
I want to point out that was not my idea either.
I'm not gonna lie, it was a bad plan, yeah? We get there and we tell them we're the raiders from Bunker Hill and we got my sidekick here to sell. And they tell us to use the key card they gave those raiders to get into the front door. Obviously, we ain't got a key card, you know? But here's where karma bit the gunners in the ass. One of the children of Adam survived, some hoary old geezer in flimsy robes. He'd been living not far from the entrance, waiting for one of those messages from God type things to tell him what to do. More importantly, he had a key card to the main entrance that those gunners were asking for.
Crazy old man Adamite in flimsy robes? Oh, lucky you guys. Let me guess, he decided you were the message he was waiting for?
You're telling me. I had no idea where he was keeping that key card the whole time. But yes, when he learned we wanted to air the vault out, he decided it was convenient to believe Adam sent us. So he handed over his unsanitary card.
All he wanted was the claim to the vault when we were done, which we weren't going to occupy anyway. The children of Adam in that vault have a history of non-aggression. He had fully intended on restoring that dogma. It was a fair deal.
So you used the questionable key card of unsanitary origin to get in. Then what?
Problem is, we gotta take down their guard before they can get the gear door closed, or we'd never get into the vault, like ever. And the inside's a really big cave, so they piled up these old cargo containers into some sort of hollow wall with a maze in it. Real frustrating. You gotta get through that before you can even see the damn main gear door. So these gunners would have plenty of time to close it if they need to.
Tactically, it's a brilliant strategy to put attackers at an extreme disadvantage. I was impressed.
So, it's just me and my sidekick in there, because they recognize the sheriff. We gotta get as close to that door as we can before dropping cover. But they got greedy. When I knocked 40% off the price, they just couldn't resist. All suspicion was gone, and they opened that second gate right up. We got into the maze and then started doing what we do to gunners before they could get the gear door closed and let the sheriff in. I still have no idea how it worked. I never will.
That makes two of us.
Did you guys find what you were looking for in there? This gunner with no sense of irony?
Oh, yeah, he was there all right, hiding behind all his goons. So many damn goons! I thought I was gonna run out of ammo. The sheriff let Oaks pick his...
Oaks was given the opportunity to pursue the only means of justice we could give him. He took it. For Oaks, Abby, and Andy, that's all we're going to say about it, Lily. It's disrespectful to use his tragedy as entertainment.
I'm sorry. I don't think about that, Sheriff. You're right. Suffice to say, the stupid gunner colonel is now very dead, as is his privately funded war on the Bleachers.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Attacking my greenhouse was just totally out of bounds and uncalled for.
She took it really personally. I feel the same way if someone came in here and started smashing up my glass.
So, how'd this guy get all the caps to pull this off? The gunners couldn't have been funding a general harassment and personal grudge campaign.
They were kidnapping for the Institute. Real specific targets. I mean, the Institute chooses stupid targets to replace, but they're still chosen. That's how I ended up getting kidnapped. That order came from their gunner boss. The Institute decided they wanted me anyway, but that a replacement would get spotted right away. So they made
It's okay, Lily. This is your wedding day. Let's talk about something else.
What they did to her? I'm never gonna forget that.
Lily?
I'm sorry, guys. You're right. This is a happy day. Just give me a few for something shiny to catch my attention and I'll be all good.
Perhaps if you tell DP and Rizzo how the operation against the railroad headquarters went. The doctor may like to hear a first-hand account as well. It was her plan, after all.
Yeah, it was a really good plan, wasn't it?
3 people to neutralize an entire hostile headquarters, and they never had to enter the line of fire. You tell me.
I know, I said it was a brutally efficient plan, Babs. Maybe even unfair to him, but I gotta hand it to you. It was brilliant.
Thank you. I wouldn't give you guys anything less than the best I could think of. We got lucky I thought of it by chance this time.
Chance favors the prepared mind.
Okay. You're talking about this brilliant plan and not gonna tell me what it was. Out with it, I gotta hear it now.
I'm with Rizzo. You can't keep doing this. Out with it.
Well, so you know where the railroad headquarters was, right?
Nah, but some merchant left the holotape on our workbench at the garage one day. It said to follow that tourist trap downtown. That Freedom Trail? So I guess I know how to find it like everyone else who can play holotapes. Just never bothered to go looking.
Those holotapes are everywhere. It's crazy how many Lily and me threw away when assembling all the songs we could find for the diner radio. Like Diamond City doesn't already have a serious trash problem without them adding to it.
You ain't lying, DP, but the important thing is this Freedom Trail takes you right to the North Church. And they're in the basement. And they got an escape route out the back. A long tunnel through a storm sewer pipe chase with a few manifolds that are open to the ocean.
Yeah, I know where that place is. That's not far from the shore on the north end.
Not far from the shore, and the basement is below sea level.
No, you didn't.
All the rain that falls in Boston goes into the ocean by these drains. That close to the shore, a lot of them have merged into giant bore pipes.
With the ocean levels being so far above where they were when this town was built, those drains run in reverse at high tide. The railroad headquarters is even further below sea level at that point, and at their most vulnerable.
We got down into that escape tunnel with a crowbar and planted some seismic charges down there. We aimed to crack a full section of the main pipe away, but it filled so fast I'm almost sure we cracked the wall between the ocean and tunnel too.
That's insane. You guys let the ocean take them. Just how fast did it fill up?
Fast enough the only railroad agents we have to worry about anymore are the ones who were topside when it happened.
We got to the church maybe 5 minutes after the boom booms and the water was already in the basement at sea level. That's why I'm thinking we managed to crack the seawall, too.
You're right. That's definitely brutally efficient. Thanks for that, Doc. Helping keeping Lily safe, I mean.
No need to thank me, Rizzo. They'd all do the same for me.
You like that? Wait till you hear what we did to him at Ticonderoga.
If it's anything like Bob's other plans, I assume you only needed a tack hammer, and you did it in safety from the other side of the Commonwealth.
After all the other stuff, I might actually believe it at this point. Did she zap them out of existence with her super brain?
Now that would be a trick.
Close. We smoked him out by sending tire fumes up the elevator shaft, leaving only one way out of a building full of poisonous smoke. And we made sure that the only exit out of the building opened up to a hallway full of turrets with us at the other end in case any got through.
You may be the only scientist I know, but I'm pretty sure you're the deadliest one in the Commonwealth.
Aw, that's so sweet, Rizzo. Thank you.
You've heard me use the expression,
Whenever I hear one of those stories, Rizzo, it really drives home the message that you should stay on the department's good side.
I wish we had you guys instead of the Minutemen at Quincy.
Part of our strength lies in knowing our limits. We can't maintain security while we are perpetually overextended. I'm sorry we couldn't be there.
It's not like you would have had time to get there even if they could have got a message out. It all happened so fast. Quincy ain't been my home in a long time. Here, I gotta get used to waking up somewhere other than the Atom Cat garage.
Perhaps you'd sleep easier after Lily tells you about our successful operation against the Institute. The Doctor may like to hear a first-hand account as well. It was her plan, after all.
I still can't believe you guys pulled that off. The entire Commonwealth's been trying to get rid of them for decades.
oh wow, it was just another classic Babs plan. Only took a few of us, and nobody fired a single shot. So we just got done talking about how the Railroad HQ was under sea level. Well, the Institute is really below sea level.
Where have them bastards been hiding out so long anyway? Nobody could ever find the damn place. Total opposite of the railroad.
Right below the CIT campus just north of here. You believe they were just a few blocks away this whole damn time?
There's a valuable lesson in comparing and contrasting their ability to remain hidden with whatever the railroad calls what they did.
Yeah, no shit. Would have been nice if the Institute painted a large neon stripe on the street to their front door and told everyone about it.
That's right on the other side of the river, isn't it?
Just on the other side and right up against it. We just had to figure out how to get enough water from point A to point B to do the job. There were some coolant pipes running to heat exchangers on the river floor, but nothing big enough to do the job fast enough.
There was over 50 meters of rock between the Institute walls and the river. That was just the bare minimum distance.
How'd you get through that? I figure they weren't about to let you just walk in there and start digging into their roof.
We forgot to ask.
That's the cool part. You know about them. But Rizzo, you remember I told you about Crenshaw's toys? Turns out one of them is a singularity device.
Who's Larry?
Singularity.
Whatever. Larry's not a bachelor, or even a guy. Larry's kind of an explosion. Well, implosion? Whitworth was trying to tell me.
Sorry, Lily, I can't sit by and listen to you butcher science like that. Crenshaw took a pretty-looking weapon of mass destruction home with him one scouting trip and put it on his shelf to admire some years ago. Nobody recognized it for what it was. Well, nobody with an intact sense of self-preservation, at least. Thank you, Whitworth. But it turns out it's something called a singularity device. Anything within 200 meters of the detonation is effectively removed from existence. Armor doesn't help, solid rock, heavy metal, air, light, whatever it is, matter or energy, it's just gone in a flash.
And Crenshaw had this actual real-life nightmare sitting on the shelf in his room the whole time? And nobody knew it?
Whitworth knew it for what it was, and was able to make it suitable for undersea deployment when we needed it. But he's a little... As the Doctor said, he has no self-preservation instinct. I have no idea how he's lived this long. It just never occurred to him to tell anyone.
Please tell me there's no more unsecured doomsday devices in Crenshaw's room.
Whitworth pointed out the rest. We had to explicitly ask him where they were. Something we overlooked previously given its not normal procedure.
So you guys used it to suck the Institute out of existence?
Yeah. Well, sort of. We used our power armor to slip into the river downstream and made our way to one of those heat exchangers. And we blasted our way into a return pipe and let it take the Singularity deeper underground and towards their dome. Blew about halfway to the Institute, like Whitworth said it would.
Wait, so the Institute is a giant fishbowl now? You're shitting me.
It sure is. You believe the sheriff and Harkins were kicking back with martinis on a roof across the river while me and my sidekick did all the work?
It was very relaxing.
Oh, I'm sorry I missed that.
I know, right? If they'd told me, I could have had Sheffield come up and give him pedicures and shit.
And you guys ain't worried you pissed off some of their topside agents and synths? They still gotta have lone courses out there.
We are always concerned with retribution, but the Institute as an entity and a cause to rally around is effectively dead. Their paid informants have nobody to pay them and nobody to inform. Their lone synths are just that, lone, and are in a survival mindset now. Complacency breeds vulnerabilities. It's best if you assume they are still capable of doing some damage. That's how the department is proceeding.
So you really think the Brotherhood is gonna keep their end of the deal and go home?
The Pridwin is gone, as is their equipment and support infrastructure. Expending the effort to pack all that up and leave just to fool us for no reason makes no sense. They don't need to fool us. They can destroy us.
You see what you mean. Well, I guess that's one less problem we have to worry about.
Indeed.
Wait, so they just agreed to leave if you do the dirty work for them? Why would they do that? They have undisputed control of Boston.
Maxon had zero-sum offer. It was too good not to take. If we succeeded in our goals, so would he. And he would have risked no troops in the process. If we didn't succeed, then he still lost no troops, and only a few days of time. They would have left the Commonwealth eventually anyway. They don't want undisputed control of Boston. It's too resource-intensive, and the Citadel is more vulnerable for them being here. Sustained military occupation is never good for anyone except arms dealers. It's expensive in terms of money, material, morale, and manpower.
Okay, it makes a lot more sense now that someone's explained it to me. I didn't like the way they eyed our T-60s anyway. We were starting to get worried they were going to come by and steal them from us at gunpoint.
Since this meal's conversation has been about deeds worthy of mention, I'd like to bring up another point of business at this moment. I would have a word with your sidekick or executive assistant. I do not know what the official title is, Lily.
Executive assistant, actually, but I'll be honest, unsung hero would work for today at least. You don't need my permission, Sheriff. You must have done something really wrong to get called out like this over food. Ha!
Look under your dinner plate. There is something for you there. A question.
Oh, wow. Would you look at that? There's something you don't see every day.
That's quite an honor.
You totally deserved that, pal.
This mean I'm gonna lose my sidekick?
I would not break up such a remarkably effective team. Understand that you are still on the power armor route from the garage, however. Your tendency to stay quiet and let your actions speak for themselves is an admirable trait, and one that Lily doesn't appreciate nearly enough.
Hey, now watch it. This mouth wins a lot of fights by itself.
I talked it over with the other lieutenants and Oaks. You've got the right stuff. You're already a resident. Are you up for the challenge?
They don't offer that to just anyone, believe me.
I'd be honored.
Very well then, Deputy. Welcome aboard. Lily, I believe you have something else to go with the badge.
Okay, now it makes a lot more sense why she asked me to hang on to these earlier. I thought they were wedding accessory sponsorships or something. So here, these old things. Luna has a policy of open exchanges if you like other designs of the badge, tomahawk, or blade. I'm really happy, I am. Now nobody can say I've killed all the sidekicks I've ever had anymore. It's the small things in life, you know?
Might I suggest you think of the children you will have, running through the halls of the Bleachers?
Holy shit! Did you just smile?
I assure you, I did not.
Ha! You are so busted, Sheriff. Don't worry, though. I won't tell anyone.
Nobody would believe us anyway.
You did! You totally smiled! I just saw it!
Seriously, though, congratulations, you two. I can't wait to see what the next few years bring.
I can't wait to fill this place with kids. Y'all better worry about what's coming, not hope for it.
Nonsense. I look forward to meeting them one day. They will be safe here.
Thanks, Sheriff. We've been talking about that for a while now. I'm glad we got a place we can finally make it happen.
I want to point out here, I just heard you all say you're looking forward to the future with hope. If I say anything more, I'm gonna cry. So just don't forget today, guys. We won't get many like them.
That right there, DP.
You have an understated wisdom about you, DP. I will deny saying that if anyone asks.
Thanks for the reminder.
You all good over there? You ain't said much. Jump in whenever you want.
Are you still going to be able to hang out with me?
Oh yeah, for sure. You come on over and tell me you want to go outside and play and we'll roll.
I'm having a good time. Don't worry about that.
I know we get to yammering about shit and can't shut up sometimes. I'm glad you're not taking it personally.
Lily, you asked me not long ago why it always seemed to be you tapped for the important missions. Why I didn't send able-bodied deputies.
Yeah, I've been wondering that. Am I finally gonna get an answer out of you?
Yes, it has all been for a bigger reason, and part of a larger plan. Years ago, when Mayor Roberts asked me to stay and head an exterior security force, he said I'd have to train Diamond City to protect itself.
I think you've done a great job, Sheriff. The Codmans hate us more than ever. That's never a bad thing.
The fact remains that myself and the lieutenants are not locals. We're not even particularly good at acting like civilians. And, to be honest, we're old for wastelanders. That's how life works. This world is a harsh place to live and fight. It takes a toll.
So what are you getting at, Sheriff?
The Bleachers belongs to the citizens, as does Diamond City and the Fens. The lieutenants and I are still new arrivals. This isn't our town. We live hard lives. We won't be around forever. Diamond City will have to rely on itself one day to fill those T-60s and protect the Fens. Luna, McGilly, Oaks, Delano, DP, Dr. McClintock, Rizzo, and you. You're the next generation that will replace us one day. You'll have your own recruits, your own chain of command, and your own responsibilities. And they'll need someone to be sheriff, Lily.
Oh my god, Lily!
Oh wait, me? Are you serious? You been smoking Babs' stuff or something?
Someday, maybe, yes. You are a creator and creative. A leader and a positive influence on those who would follow you. Look at the Atom Cats. You and Zeke kept those kids fed and safe for years and years, with no help from anyone. And, while molding you is reminiscent of working with clay full of sharp glass shards that bite back, there is much to work with. Spears said he has never trained a finer T-60 fighter in his life. Crenshaw says you have a keen insight for how the local mind works. Harkins says you remind her of herself at that age, and Dan consistently remarks on your loyalty and tenacity. I agree with both of them. So, maybe one day, when the rest of my hair is gray, I'll ask you if you're ready to take responsibility for Diamond City's safety.
Yeah, you're definitely smoking something if you think I'll make a good sheriff. I ain't never gonna be ready for that. Hell, I don't want that.
That's the first quality of a good leader, Lily.
Well, shit.
What? I ain't talking.
We there yet?
Whatever you're gonna ask, I don't know anything about it.
Hey. Yeah, just curious what you're thinking.
Well, things are off to a good start.